Hey guys, Blake Harcup here from Sarasota Medical Pregnancy Center. Just wanted to invite you to our Dad's 101 class. We are filming these classes so you can join us online. And the main reason we're doing that right now is because we can't meet. So hopefully we'll be able to meet in the future. But you can take these classes, record these conversations, and we're going to have a way for you to check in. And then you can earn while you learn points for these sessions that you watch. So hope you enjoy it. I have Cody Davenport here with me. Cody is our new men's coach here at the Pregnancy Center. So he'll be helping to run the Dad's 101 program and other things as well. So we hope you enjoy this. And today we're going to be talking about what do I do while my partner is pregnant. So as a dad and kind of as a support person, what can I do during this season and how can I kind of help out the best that I possibly can? So, Cody, why don't you introduce yourself? How many kids do you have? Tell us a little bit about you.
All right. I'm Cody Davenport. As Blake said, that I'm pretty new here at the medical center, and I am excited about just being able to talk about being a dad and being a father and what that means. I have two kids of my own. One is a 5-year-old, and he is insane in a great way. He's just a ball of energy, runs around, and my daughter is 8. So we're a little bit past the infant stage, which you guys are headed into, but it's not as daunting as it seems to be. We're going to try to, you can learn from me and Blake's mistakes. We've learned, that's probably the way I have learned, is just falling on my face and learning, and you can be a better dad than I was at that time in my life. So hopefully we can then learn a little bit of something from us.
Yeah. And just in case you guys don't know, my wife and I have 4 kids. They are 7, 6, 3, and 1. So we just got out of the little kids phases. So we've been there before, but I think we're going to talk to you guys through our experience and some of the ways that we have to help during this phase and what we need to do. So Cody, I just want to maybe from maybe a little bit more of a distant memory now. What was the feeling that you had when your wife was pregnant? How did you experience that? How did you feel? What was that like for you?
I want to say there was only excitement and only like, this is going to be amazing. And I think I was freaked out. That's probably the, not that we were kind of trying, we were kind of planning for it. It wasn't like it was a shock, but when we got it, I remember like, oh my goodness. But I also remember my wife being really freaked out, and her like kind of like, this is the end of this life stage, and just scared of the unknown. So I felt as we go into like, what does your wife need, or what are you supposed to do during this time when your partner is pregnant? And that's the first thing I can even say, is that I kind of had to put the brave face on of we got this, everything's gonna be great, because I could already tell that instant that emotions were already higher than normal. And so I remember being like excited, but just fear of the unknown, just like kind of nervous. And I saw that playing out in my partner's mind as well, and more so. So I kind of had to be the strong one in that regard. I remember that specifically. The second one, not as much, because I think we had been there before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that first one was excitement, joyful, scared, but I had to temper that down a little bit to help my partner. I would say that's the feelings I had.
Yeah, that's good.
What about for you?
For us, we weren't planning on having, so it was a surprise.
Okay.
And so for 3 of our kids, it was a surprise. One was we actually tried for. So, for me, it was a little bit of trepidation, just from like, hey, I don't know what this is going to be like. But I do remember feeling pretty helpless, as in there's not a lot you can do for your partner while they're sick, or while they're exhausted. Exhaustion's really part of this. And it's a taxing moment. Like growing a baby is hard work. And so I remember feeling a little bit, especially the first time, like, what do I do? She's throwing up and feels awful. Like, what can I do to help? That was a lot of it. And then I think every time we found out we were pregnant, there is a little bit of like that, like, oh, okay, all right,
things are changing.
Yeah, it's a real moment, and so I think that that's a normal feeling. I mean, it's a big deal having a kid, but honestly, it's such a great thing, and so for me, I was really trying to figure out how do I lead really well in this moment? Like, how do I help my wife and my partner right now? And there's not really anything out there to talk about, like, hey, here's your role during this season.
Yeah.
And so to me, I think the biggest thing that I found was I had to take on the role of a servant. That's kind of a characteristic that I had to take on, that like my partner, she was doing her body and everything, that she was doing all this work, which it's hard to see because it's all kind of happening on the inside.
Yeah.
But I just remember her being tired. I remember her being hungry or then sick and things like that. And so I just decided that the best thing that I could do was run support.
Yeah.
And if you want to think of a military kind of scenario or sports, anything like that, really there's the players who are out like performing the job, right? But there's a whole support team behind them making sure that happens. And that's how I really had to think of during the pregnancy. That was my job. I was 100% support. And I think for most men, we're not used to that.
No.
We're kind of used to being supported. It's kind of you actually do take on more of a nurturing role, which is going to, by the way, help you along as you're a dad.
When you have a kid, yeah.
Because you have to nurture as well. So that was a mindset that I had to enter into. And once I entered that mindset, that my role here is a support role. So whether that means like going grocery shopping or cooking, cleaning, like doing whatever it meant in that time, you just got to be willing to do it.
Yeah.
Because what you realize is true leadership is about serving people. And if you're going to lead in that scenario, in that situation, you need to serve.
Yep.
And like you said, I really like what you said, is that you kind of had to mentally gear up for, all right, well, this is where we are. Now let's engage the moment. And I think that that's so important in this process, is that men need to mentally engage the moment. Because just because she's the one that's carrying the baby doesn't mean you get to mentally check out.
Yeah. Which is hard.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it doesn't feel like you said, it's like, it kind of goes against manliness, manly nature, whatever you want to say, of how you're supposed to act. Like, okay, I'm going to do this. Like, we all can turn it on for a romantic night out. Like, okay, I'm doing all these things for my girl. Yeah. But for 9 months to so on, for when you have a child, it's harder to do that. It's harder to feel that, okay, there's not, I think most men are fixers. They want to fix the problem. Yeah. And there's not a fixing the problem when you have a baby on the way. There's a continual, how do I help? How do I help?
Yeah.
And there's not like, okay, I'm going to get this magic. I'm going to go buy this pill and then we're done. Yeah, I'm going to go buy this certain thing and we're done. It's a continuous, okay, how do I insert myself into the situation and help you the best way possible? And it's also like one of those things, like, from my, as I said, learn from my mistakes. I wish I would have just done things more and not been like, what do you need? What can I do? Ask those questions.
Yeah, just
proactive. Jump in, because I had a very independent woman. If you have a very independent woman, they're like, no, I've got this. I don't need anything. But you stepping out and doing those things, just the normal thing, like you said, getting groceries. Hey, I stopped and grabbed some groceries on the way home. It's gonna help. Even if she's like, why did you do that? I'm supposed to do this, and takes offense a little bit, it's still in the back of her mind. My man is taking care of me. I'm not worried about my child because my man is going to take care of me and this child. So doing those things that just seem small tasks, menial tasks, goes a long way during this time for sure.
Well, and I think, for men, it's a shift in thinking, right? I think boys want to be served. Men want to serve. Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
And so you got to kind of go from a mentality of it's all about me and what people can do for me and it shifts you into this moment of, I think, manhood that is, I'm going to serve and love people really well. And, you know, people who are, I call them me monsters, all about themselves, they don't have great legacies.
Yeah.
It's the men that like serve and serve their country, serve people really well, that build great legacies. And I think that's, as men, what we want to do. And, you know, it's not, being a great dad doesn't mean you just have all these tools, like have how to change diapers quickly, although we'll teach you guys how to do that. It's about stepping into manhood. It's about, you know, being someone, not having tools to do certain things. And, you know, we have a philosophy here at the Pregnancy Center that great men make great dads.
Yeah.
And so the goal here is not only like, hey, here's what to expect. Expect your partner to be sick. I mean, and I always tell couples this when they're like, man, she is so sick. I say, man, that's just a reminder you have a healthy baby right now. You know, so it kind of takes some of that anxiety away a little bit. You can expect like it to be a little bit different emotionally, and that's not a bad thing. That's an actual biological thing that's going on. Yep. You can expect some anxiety and anxiousness, like figuring out what the future is going to look like. I mean, that's hard. And you can expect all of those things. And so one really practical tip, there's two that I have, I guess two, not one. First is take a tour of the hospital. So if you go on your hospital's website, I know that here, Sarasota Memorial Hospital, you can log on and you can schedule a tour. That helped me a ton, and actually my partner a ton, because we got to go see where we'll have the baby. Then we got to go see where you go after you have the baby. And they did show us where we actually drive in and where we are to park, or you know, at Sarasota Memorial Hospital, you have free valet, so you don't have to worry about parking. It's free valet. So, but there's a separate entrance for pregnant women who are going into labor. That once I saw all that and got ahead of the game, then that anxiousness went away.
You got to plan.
Right. Yeah. We got to like be part of it.
Strategic.
Proactive. And I would encourage you to make that appointment. So be proactive. The second thing is, you know, we call it a bug out bag, but pack a go bag. So, you know, when the water breaks or you're going into labor or whatever, like it's not like the movies generally. Like you're not speeding across town screaming and all that, right? Like, but you do get, I mean, it's a big moment, so you do get kind of like amped up, and you'll forget things. So what I would tell you to do as well is, especially during the second trimester, is pack your go bag. So you're like, dude, it's really cold in the hospital. I don't know if you remember that, but when the women are laboring, like it's hard work, so they keep the rooms really cold, and I was freezing. And so like pack a sweater. Pack a sweater for you and your partner, pack a change of clothes, make sure you have a go ready toothbrush, toothpaste. Like,
there you go.
You know, you got to be ready, because you're going to, after the baby's born, you're going to stay there for a little bit. Yep. Normally 2 days, maybe longer, depending if you have a C-section or not, or whatever's going on. But
my second child, I learned this from the experience. So this is something you can take after you take the tour. I have no idea how the rooms are set up here at Sarasota Memorial, but my first child, I came and I slept on this like convertible bed that had like a table, and it's a bed and a chair, which means it's uncomfortable and terrible. I brought a blow up mattress to the hospital and set it up right next to the thing, and I slept fine. Even with all the beeps and everything.
SMH wasn't bad. It's like a couch that turns into a bed. Yeah. It was a little bit.
If you have room for a blow up mattress, bring one.
Yeah, the rooms are big. You're in your own room, which is huge.
That's good.
It's a private room. And so the other just thing is during this season, we're going to talk about delivery next time and what to expect. I always have guys say, what am I going to see? And I'm like, don't worry, man, we'll make it.
You'll see. You'll see.
But honestly, the biggest kind of attitude or attribute that you need in this season is one, to serve. And it's honestly a heart change that's going to need to last you a lifetime, because dads serve. And great men serve and help people. And so it's kind of that transitional time for us. So, I mean, that's kind of really what to expect. I would join all the classes you can. I would like every Earn While You Learn class that you could possibly be a part of is really important. And here's why. Knowledge is power. And if you have knowledge, you're not as thrown off as you could be when you get to a situation. You at least have a knowledge base to get to deal with certain things. And so I will tell you this, though. My wife and I are like, we love delivery day. I mean, pregnancy is awesome and it's a beautiful thing. And I think you come to respect your partner so much more because you do see how hard it is and what's going on. And there's just a level of appreciation for that. But honestly, that like when, you know, with, we're pretty sure we're done having kids at this point. I mean, unless there's like a miracle baby, you know, we're done. And that's a sad thing to say because we loved it so much. Like we really looked forward to like delivery day and being at the hospital. And I don't know, it's just a really good, we love it. We loved it. I mean, it was a great thing. So you got a lot to look forward to. It's exciting. And, but in this season, just learn to serve and help and get ready. Do those two things. Go schedule that tour for the hospital and also pack that go bag and be ready. That will help bring peace. And then whatever your partner needs, do the best you can to help meet that need.
And don't feel bad if you throw some snacks in for yourself into that go bag.
Yeah. A little bit of snacks.
Okay.
Because, by the way, once the delivery starts, she can't eat.
But you can.
But but be careful. All right.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed this class. There's going to be 5 more classes in this series. We're going to have some more stuff coming out as well, but we love you guys. Appreciate you. We're always here for you. Just call or text on in and we'll see you next time. Thanks.